looking down, you can kind of see very easily how wide your feet should be. That's a good way to figure that out. And then
You want to start over?
yeah.
Okay. Hey guys, welcome to Seriously Lighthearted Yoga. It is another pose day. As you can see, we are upright and vertical in the beginning of this video, and that is because this is a standing pose, one that you can do kind of whatever you want, I guess.
Yeah, just like every other pose.
Yeah, like, you know, people, I mean, if you're standing in a crowd, people aren't going to necessarily criticize you if you start doing it this way. If you know, dropping a downward dog, it'd be kind of weird, but,
That's true.
you know.
Stands out a little more.
Anyway,
Ironically
this standing pose is called what, Kai?
Tadasana.
Tadasana. So what are the details? What are the important bits?
So yeah, it's essentially just standing here like I'm doing. There are a few different options and variations here, but we'll get into those in a second. The feet, again, thinking of the four corners of the feet that we talked about in that foot video we did a little while back, and also thinking of widening those toes out, trying to bring them as far apart as possible. Your feet might cramp up sometimes, that happens. And then from there, you have two options of where to place your feet. Your feet can be together, big toes touching, or if you'd like, you can widen them out to about hip width apart. And to find hip width apart, if you bring your fingertips to the parts of your hips that stick out kind of far, they call it iliac crest, but bring it to that point, placing your fingers there and just looking down, if you have your second toe over your fingers, you'll essentially have found hip width apart. If you think of that, the space between your big toe and that first toe there, that's a good place to think about. But looking down, just trying to find that, or if you'd like another way to figure that out, bringing your fists down to the ground, bending your knees to get down there if you have to, and just bring them between your toes there. And two fists is about hip width apart for most people. And those two options are kind of subtly different. So if you widen your feet out, it's what we call more grounded in yoga. It's a little more stable, it's a little more calming and relaxing. And if you bring your feet together, it is a little more lifting in a sense. It's something that might create some anxiety and a little bit of instability in some poses. So thinking of whether or not you'd like something more grounded or something that is a little bit more balancing oriented is a good thing to think about in all standing poses, but starting here. And then pressing down into your feet and then thinking of bringing your energy up your legs. So essentially activating those legs. Thinking of bringing the energy up. Pulling your kneecaps up towards your hips is the next thing to think about. Don't lock your knees. Keeping them slightly bent and just pulling those kneecaps up. Just activating the thighs in this way is one thing to think about. And then from there, tucking your tailbone just a tiny bit. This is kind of a point that is often brought up traditionally in yoga, but not actually necessarily the best practice for all people. There are a lot of people I see nowadays from sitting in chairs all day and whatnot that have a slightly rounded lower back already. And I would say for those people, if you're one of those people, you don't need to think about tucking the tailbone. But for the rest of us, tucking the tailbone, if you'd like, you can also think of this as bringing your pubic bone up just slightly. It's a very subtle movement, but doing that will also help you bring a lot of stability into the posture. And then from there, lifting your chest just slightly, thinking of keeping these lower ribs here pressed down and relaxed at the same time. And then releasing your shoulders, bringing your shoulder blades just slightly back, squeezing them together. And then bringing your head upright over those shoulders, allowing a slight curve in the back of your neck here. And essentially, that's the pose. You're trying, as you hold this, to keep the weight, again, even in the soles of your feet. So the weight from the heel to the ball of each foot is even, and the weight from the left to the right foot is even. Anyways.
Yeah, so that's Tadasana right there. Like I said, you can do that whenever you want. It is actually not very easy. I'm sure you guys see me starting to wobble a little bit. It's not real simple trying to keep the pressure even in the 4 points of your feet that we talked about in a few days ago. So focus on that. I think that's one of the bigger points here. That's definitely what I'm struggling with. That's one of the things that I'm going to work with this pose. Again, yoga is your thing. Figure out where you're struggling in this pose and work on that yourself. Otherwise, have fun with this pose, guys. We will be coming at you again tomorrow. We will see you then. Subscribe, like, and share. Give somebody a high five, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.